Where are we going?
Comic-Con.
There we go.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
That's right, it was New York Comic-Con, one of my favorite weekends of the year. I am so happy that I go almost every year, and this year, as always, was just great. And actually, when my wife and I went this year, the first thing we went to was Artist Alley, which is always busy, always hopping. I actually got a sketch done for my good friend Andrew Griffith, who we'll be talking about in just a little while. But it didn't take very long at all for my wife to find something really, really cute.
Yeah, of course, enjoy, all right?
Oh, that's awesome.
It's super cool.
That booth was called The Art of Bianca, and immediately my wife found cute stuff, and we spent some money there. I'm going to drop her link in the description below so that you can give her a follow on Instagram, because she really does some cute and fun art. We're online. We're gonna take a photo with someone pretty cool. You wanna say who we're taking a photo with?
We're taking a photo with Ewan McGregor.
I think Obi-Wan is arguably my favorite character in all of Star Wars. Not hers, but maybe mine. And Ewan McGregor is a national treasure.
That's true.
International. He's not
International.
From not from the U.S. Yeah, you know, every year my wife and I try to get a photo op done at New York Comic-Con. They are expensive. I'm not gonna lie. This year we ended up getting 2 through a bit of a misstep on our end. But yeah, Ewan McGregor was awesome. He was super polite, super nice, as you're about to see. My wife kind of fangirling, as I fanboyed out over that experience as well.
Oh,
So it's a video. So we took our picture with Obi-Wan, with Ewan McGregor.
It was amazing.
It was fun. He's a handsome man, up close.
Absolutely.
It's
Very
pretty cool.
personal.
Yeah, and I think we got a great picture. I'll try to show it later. So walking around the showroom floor is always a great thing to do at New York Comic-Con, and it is always busy. The footage you're seeing was shot the first day that I was there, and yeah, it was just super busy, packed with people, as you can see, and we got to see some neat things like the Good Burger car and the poster promoting the new Good Burger movie, which is a little unsettling with those eyes staring out of the hamburger there. But I stopped by the Super 7 booth, which was super cool. That Cobra mothership just looks fantastic. And then I kind of wandered over to the Plunderlings booth. Plunderlings is a great toy line. I've recently been getting into them. I think my kind of obsession started with them 2 New York Comic-Cons ago. And I've been kind of bolstering my ranks, and here you can see some of their new offerings, and maybe I even bought something from this booth. You'll have to wait around to the end of the video to see what I picked up. This is the part of the show where my wife had to use the bathroom, so I'm just waiting for her. Because it always takes a while in the ladies' room at New York Comic-Con. So the first day was a little uneventful. We didn't really get a whole bunch done because we did that photo op and we were trying to do some of like the fan experiences where you could win prizes. This brings us to the second day where I was walking past a Marvel booth and it occurred to me, oh yeah, the HasLab Giant Man is here, and this thing looks incredible in person. I was looking at it, you know, I had said in previous videos that I was on the fence about this figure. After seeing it in person, I know I'm going to fund it. So that's something I wanted to talk about actually, was the HasLab Giant Man. Dwight and Dan from the Marvel Legends team, if you watch the Marvel Legends live streams, you're probably familiar with them. They were at the booth and they were just hanging out, and as I was kind of awing the Giant Man as I was standing there admiring it, Dwight came over to me and struck up a conversation, and we were just having a very friendly chat. I didn't record it because I didn't feel like I wanted to put them on the spot. You know, I am a fledgling YouTube channel at this moment. I have 200 something subscribers, and I appreciate all of you who do subscribe. But I didn't want to put them on the spot. I didn't want to make them feel like they had to put on a dog and pony show or anything. So I had about a 20-minute long conversation with Dwight and Dan, and I did want to make a couple things known about the HasLab Giant Man. First off, as of this video, it is a little bit past halfway funding. It doesn't end on October 30th like I thought. It ends on the 23rd, I want to say. So my pledge is now in there. I did back it. But when we were talking, well, a couple of cool ideas came up, a couple interesting things came up. Dwight asked me right out if I was backing it, and I said that I was going to. And he said, "Oh, great, I'm happy to hear it." You know, I said that, I was going to do it as soon as the show was over. I really wanted to see it in person to make sure I was going to, which he seemed to appreciate. I kind of joked about a classic Wasp. We talked about the tiers and why there were no figures locked behind, price locked behind tiers. And they said so they could give us the best experience and, put other things out separately that you might want. And a classic Wasp came up, and Dwight said to me, "She exists and she is beautiful." So I can tell you that thing is real. A classic Wasp to go with that Giant Man is going to happen. So I'm going to put the link to the HasLab in the description below in case you are thinking about backing it. That way you have a link, you can go back it. But he outright said that a classic Wasp is coming that matches. I asked if she'll have alternate heads because I never loved like the pointy helmet design. And he just smiled and he said, "All I can tell you is she exists and she's beautiful." He repeated it again. But we got to talking about some of the other things that we would like to see, that I would like to see in the Marvel Legends kind of HasLab or just in the line in general. We had a very nice, pleasant conversation. And I don't know what else they can do with the HasLab. I did mention to Fin Fang Foom, and he said that to get it where they would want to be with a very articulated neck and tail and functional wings that move really well, you would be looking at paying about $400 to $500. So I just want to throw that out there. This is straight from the horse's mouth, as it were. This isn't me speculating on price. This is what Dwight outright told me. So if you want a Fin Fang Foom, that's fine. I'm right there with you. Just know it's going to be more expensive than the HasLab Giant Man. I also mentioned something like a Danger Room concept, and he did tell me that they have about 10 different concepts for a Danger Room display that they can't really go through at the moment. It's kind of a wait and see if the Giant Man gets funded. I guess the Engine of Vengeance kind of set back these big projects since it didn't fund. So the hope is that Giant Man will fund and that these other projects like a Danger Room could possibly happen. That doesn't mean it's going to be the next HasLab Marvel offering, but it's something that could happen down the road. So I just want to make that clear as well. Some of the other stuff we talked about were just areas of Marvel that we both like. Dwight and I talked about other lines that we collect. It was a very fun conversation. But when he asked me what I wanted to see in like the base figure, wave or offerings, I said Feral and Wolfsbane. I'm a 90s X-Men kid. You can kind of see him back there a little bit. And what he told me was, he said, and I'm quoting here, he can confirm that one of those figures is coming next year. And I said, "Oh, which?" And he said, "I can only tell you that one of them is coming." So either a X-Factor Wolfsbane or Feral is coming at some point next year. Keep my fingers crossed. Can't wait to see that. Very, very, very excited for that. So it's our second day at New York Comic Con, and we're online again. Who are we meeting this time?
Chris Evans, Captain America.
I'm so excited. I mean, we're both wearing Captain America shirts. I'm a nerd, I know that, but I am so excited.
Yeah.
So after that Chris Evans photo op, which was a great time. Again, just a very nice guy. We went back up to the show floor, which is where my wife and I spent the majority of our Saturday. And I ended up here at the Robeson booth, which, it's cool. It's nice to see these things. I'm a big Grimlock fan. I don't think I can swing the price tag on this Robeson Grimlock. However, it does look really cool, as you can see it transforming in the video now. It is voice command. It looks very, very neat. And, it is something that part of me really thinks about buying constantly. Like, hey, maybe I should pick it up. But at the moment, I don't have the money. I'm kind of waiting to see if they do a simplified version, kind of like they did with that first Optimus Prime. There was the flagship one, and then there was like the easier, slightly not expensive version. So if they do a less expensive Grimlock, maybe I'll do that. But otherwise, we just kind of walked around the showroom floor. It was very busy here during the weekend, as you can see. A lot of people walking around. But there were some cool things like this giant Goku. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan, so I was very happy to see that. Well, my friends, that just about does it for my New York Comic Con video. Of course, I did buy quite a bit of stuff. Maybe not as much in the past. There weren't quite as many comic and vintage toy vendors as I'm used to, but that doesn't mean I didn't pick anything up. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the things that I picked up at New York Comic Con 2023 here. And as I mentioned, I did 2 photo ops. I'm just gonna show them because why not? We did have a photo op with Ewan McGregor of Star Wars fame, among so many other things. He's an incredible actor. So there it is. That was our photo with Ewan McGregor. And then I've mentioned we also did one with Chris Evans. And I was super stoked about this one because Captain America is my favorite Avenger for a number of reasons. So really, really, really excited to have those two photos. They're actually going to go on this wall behind me where my Transformers and larger size figures are. I got to start framing pictures and putting them up, making my man cave look a little, a little nicer. Comic-Con wouldn't be Comic-Con without some actual comics, and although I didn't see as many comic vendors this year with good buys, there were some, and my wife and I have been kind of on a quest to find certain issues of certain comics from around the time that we were born. So we actually found a bunch more issues, getting us a little bit closer to that goal, finishing that goal this year at New York Comic-Con. So we picked up an issue of Iron Man, we picked up an issue of The Incredible Hulk, and I'm very excited that I picked up this issue of Green Lantern, which has which has Hal, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner on the cover. Very cool. And then also an issue of the Fantastic Four. So picked up some comics, as I said, getting us closer to that goal of owning comics from right around the time when my wife and I were both born. Alright, another thing that I picked up is an Action Master Transformer. Do you remember Action Masters? It was a time where the Transformers gave up the power to transform. So yeah, I did pick up an Action Master. I had a few as a kid. Actually, I think I've either sold them or they broke or something, but I did pick up the Action Master Grimlock. And the only reason why I did this is because I'm a big Grimlock fan. You've probably seen that video, or you can check it out on my channel, where I have a shelf of all Grimlock figures on it. It's a 3-tiered shelf. It's pretty crowded. And I picked up I want to say complete Action Master Grimlock. I think there's a gun that goes in the front here that isn't included, but his vehicle is here. I can seat him on his rocket sled or whatever this is. And yeah, I was pretty stoked to find that. As I said, I didn't see a ton of vintage toy dealers at New York Comic-Con this year, but still got excited that I found this Grimlock. Wasn't even really planning on looking for it, so it was a nice treat. Alright, and I didn't have any video, but I do have some pictures with him. But I did stop by Andrew Griffith. You see, I have a sketchbook here that I've been bringing to New York Comic-Con and various other conventions with me since 2013. So this is the 10th year of me doing it, where I'll get commissioned art. I got, I save a little bit, put some money aside, and get some art commissioned. And Andrew Griffith has been featured in this book many times, to the point where now he messaged me on Twitter, hey, you coming by this year? I'll do a sketch for you. And he always does some killer work. He's a friend of my show. He's been on the show. We actually talked about him coming on the show again this coming January-ish for a project he's working on, but he did a fantastic Harley Quinn sketch for me. It was really cool. Very excited that he did that. Yeah, he's done a number of sketches in this book, and the way this works is I have a list. It started out as 100 characters, and I just kind of cross the name off every time someone does one of characters that I'd like to have sketches done of. I have 36 in here, I want to say. Something like that. So not bad for 10 years of doing this. Now, I did show you video from that Super 7 booth of the Cobra Mothership, and I'll admit, I don't buy Super 7 stuff, but they do some really cool things. If you're not familiar with the Cobra Mothership, it's in the opening credits to the G.I. Joe cartoon. But what I did was, they had a really cool shirt, and I've bought shirts from the Super 7 booth before, and they're always very comfortable shirts, so I picked up this shirt, which is kind of like a mix between the old X-Files I Want to Believe poster and a mashup of, well, the Cobra Mothership. I think that looks really cool. I'll be happy to wear that shirt and, to other conventions that I go to. I think that's a really cool one. And yes, finally, the last thing that I picked up, I did indeed pick up a Plunderling, but not just any one. They have those new ones, those Plunder Strongs, that are these big, honkin' kind of looking guys. Well, I did pick up one of the Plunder Strongs. I picked up this dude. This giant red one who's got like crab hands. I really, really enjoy the look of this figure. I think he looks neat. Of course, the Plunderlings are known for having other multiple accessories with them. So here he has alternate heads and hands. He's got these big splayed open hands. These look like smaller hands for if you have like a red Plunderling. And he's got this kind of clamshell piece that can act as a helmet as well as this kind of admiral looking cape. So that's really cool. With that Plunderling, you're gonna hear some plastic cracking. I also picked up another set of hands just to add to for more dynamic posing. And these big open ones here, these are actually hands that have magnets in them. The reason why they have that is all the plunderlings have a magnet in their head, so you can use these hands to have my big guy kind of pick up a small one by their head because he's so tall and towering over them that it looks like, you know, he's gonna crush their head or something. So really, really neat stuff from the Plunderling store. I'm gonna put a link to their Instagram in my description below as well, so you can follow them. They're great stuff. It's a great independent toy manufacturer, so check it out. Well, with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video of my trip and all the stuff that I got to New York Comic Con. Hey, were you there? Did you walk around? Did you have a good time? Have you ever been to New York Comic Con? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, I've been Dan. Hey, you've been pretty awesome. I'll see you around.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.